Number 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. This is a tricky one because I'm a big believer that traumatizing and abusing your children is not good. And that seems like common sense, right? This rule for life from Jordan Peterson, and I might be taking this out of context, maybe he'll explain it better than I can, but I think this is referring to not becoming like your child's friend. So of course, we're kind of young right now, okay? But when we go and have children, the modern day around us is raising children to be very weak and protected. And if a child does something, like swear at their parents, which is a normal thing that's happening these days, bro. In some cultures, like I don't want to be racist, but it seems to be just like white parents and white kids. White parents raise their kids to just, it's okay to swear at them for some reason, bro. You never see that in a fucking like minority household ever. I don't know what's happening in like the fucking godless West degenerates here, but it's like it's okay for children here to literally swear at their parents, to scream at them, to tell them to fuck off and stuff, bro. The few times I've ever swore at my parents, I got my ass beat. You know what's very interesting? The times that I look back and I've actually been traumatized, like fully, like I don't say this to be like some mental health victim or some shit, like, oh, I've got trauma, but like I've literally like scientifically got fucking proof that I've like have trauma from my childhood. The few times that I can remember that I totally got traumatized was not from times where I kind of deserve to be disciplined. This is very interesting and I don't think anyone's talked about this. I'll very briefly go over it here. Maybe I should make another video. From what I can think right now, the times that I most like dislike my parents and the times that I look back with so much like, it's built up like anger and like sort of these flashbacks and everything which encapsulate trauma, is the times when it's totally out of place for me to be disciplined like that. So it was the time that, me and my brother were like shouting at each other a little bit, then my dad comes in and aggressively hurts us. That's really bad. Where it was suddenly, and it wasn't deserved. Whereas the times that I think about the times where I kind of deserved to be disciplined, that never traumatized me, even though I still got like abused in that sense. The issue is that I think most parents have this all flipped. We see a lot of parents in this modern day who don't discipline their children at all because they think like, children are so sensitive and we can't like risk traumatizing them. And you should not traumatize your children, but I think there's a fine line that if you let your child, quite frankly, act like a prick, if you're not going to discipline your child, eventually the world's going to discipline him, and that's going to be a way harsher lesson. And we're seeing that today with when I look at like 18-year-olds today, 16-year-olds today, a lot of them are just like I don't want to be horrible, but a lot of them are literally just like so weird. Coming from like an Asian household, coming from like a Muslim household where I got slapped, I got beat. The thing is, I don't think those things are good either. But look at like the man I've become today. I've become disciplined. I've become like self-regulating. Whereas I see children today that never got disciplined when they should have. I used to see kids like literally scream and swear at their parents, and they're just weirdly addicted to instant gratification. It's like if a parent tried to become their child's friend, that child ends up turning into a total fucking degenerate who goes to the pub 3 times a week to drink pints here. If you want your child to become like that, yeah, be easy on them. Be nice on them. I don't think you should physically harm your children ever, but I think that your children should feel very disciplined by you. And I'm just going to be totally honest, I don't really know how to navigate that sort of dichotomy just yet, but I am sort of wanting to look into that. But I will not have children who are fucking spoiled brats. You need to discipline your child and you need to not expect to be your child's friend. I will not be my children's friend. They will not see me as their friend. People think that this is weird when I say this about my girl. We're not friends. I call her my girl and not my girlfriend. We even like cringe at the term girlfriend, boyfriend. We're not friends. I know that he's talking about children in this rule for life, but you must understand that there's people who you can be very close to who don't have to be your friend. Me and my girl, I love her so much, she's not my friend at all. That's fucking that's weird. Maybe that seems weird to you right now, thinking like, okay, why don't you say your friend? But that's bro, once you get a little bit more knowledgeable on the masculine energy, you realize you don't need to be friends with a girl for her to respect you and love you and actually to have an amazing time with her. If anything, honestly, I think our relationship's so fucking good because we're not friends. Because if we were, I would have lost attraction to her and she would have lost attraction to me, which is what happens in all these fucking relationships where, oh, we're like best friends, we spend all day talking to each other. Fuck off. I won't be offensive, maybe that's what some people's preference is, but with these parents who want to be their children's best friend, you usually see this with like degenerate parents who didn't even want to have their children at that age, and they end up wanting to become friends with their children because they want to live vicariously through them. So you'd see this with the overbearing mother who like wants the boy to essentially turn into like a little bitch, little pussy, and he like, to keep him like nice and safe and secure. Or you see this with the thought kind of mother who then encourages her daughter to like, dress up and be really pretty and put on loads of makeup and go out, yeah, just go fuck some guys, it's okay, like, because she's living vicariously through that. Maybe I've got this all wrong because this is something I've not totally researched enough just yet, and maybe we can go find like, what Peterson's actually said, and maybe some people will comment and say, oh no, he meant to say something else, but I'm pretty sure it just means like, be a parent, be a role model, be like a disciplined figure, be a masculine father, not a friend. This is it's a fucking red pill, bro, but the girls that I've dated before my current relationship, and I always observed their parents, And when I see, one, her dad's not in the house because the parents are, I'm like, okay, this, come on. But two, when I see that her dad is like her friend and he's like a little pussy and he's like kind of feminine and he's not masculine, I know for a fact that she's gonna have problems. And like, I've left relationships, multiple handful of relationships, just because I've seen that her parents are like her friends, and it's just like this weird fucked up dynamic where I start seeing like her mother's gonna encourage her to be a thought because her mother's like living vicariously through her party days and stuff, and her dad's just being like a little feminine pushover. You can't be parents like that. As a man in today's world, you can work incredibly hard, you can make sacrifices, and you can discipline yourself and still never amount to much. My name is Hamza Ahmed, and I'm on a mission to help young men around the world to achieve success in all areas of life, from self-improvement to building a business that makes you feel powerful. And through Adonis School, I'm gonna help you make your first $10,000 for yourself using the same step-by-step system that I've used to make hundreds of thousands.